Matt fought, and he's the boxing instructor at
That's
Henzo's that I
right.
told you about.
Okay.
Yeah. So he's been
Yeah.
teaching the classes there, and that's where Matt and I met at
Yeah.
Henzo's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, wasn't that a good experience for you?
Oh, the best.
They give you confidence, and you're not afraid to go anywhere by yourself. That kind of feeling.
We've talked about before, Chad and I, in, like, just with ourselves, but also like on the show, where just the gym that we go to, and I mean that type of skill set that you obtain by boxing or jiu-jitsu or any type of martial art really gives you the confidence to, it's training for your life in a way. And I love what it's done. Like Chad, I mean, I was thinking about this today. The Chad I first met as opposed to the Chad now are like, I mean, well, at first, he was always like a super nice guy, polite, well-spoken, like really good dude. But, he's more like, he's more, I would say, confident in his like, in what he can do. And like, just, I mean, I don't know, Chad, would you agree?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Like one of the things that he really taught me too, and I got interested in learning how to take care of myself. And I always had some type of draw toward combat sports and toward fighting and things, even though I was a drummer, growing up, and I drummed. I was in the high school band, and I was in the jazz band and all those types of things. And I played football, and I played ice hockey and baseball a little bit as a kid, but I always wanted to kind of box. And, he taught me the importance of knowing how to protect yourself and knowing how to defend yourself. And you want to be able to be, strong, because that increases your confidence. It changes how you think about yourself and how you carry yourself and how the world perceives you. And you don't really understand that, or at least I didn't when I was a kid, but I liked that. Like I thought there was a play element too. There was an aggressiveness, but there's also a play element, to combat sports and to fighting. And I wanted to box because I could hit decently. He told me, how to, he wasn't a trained fighter, but he was strong and he knew how to hit hard, and he taught me how to.
Coriando for 2 years.
You did. Yeah. You did. What was it? Coriando?
Yeah. The Korean
karate.
Yeah, mostly hands.
Yeah. So he taught me this, and then I wanted to give it a try. So when I tried that, and the more I trained and the more I learned, I felt my body and my mind transform, and I became more confident. And that was really a lot of what he had taught me, and one of the things that I've learned from him, and that he kind of instilled in me growing up. So that's been great. But I lost it, Matt, right? Like, I lost it when life came. And, I got, comfortable in my job, and I didn't work out anymore. And, I had some back issues, and I was in pain for a while, and I just let myself go. Right. Yeah. So I wound up being heavy, and I was in pain. And then when I finally had the courage to walk through those doors, really for my sons, when I brought my boys there, Jordan, as we talked about before, said, "Hey, why don't you give it a try?" And that was more than 4 years ago now. And that completely transformed my life and brought back some of that, some of that passion and some of that, like enlightenment that you feel when you are more of you, when you take care of your body and such, and you're dangerous, but you can use it for good. I'm a big fan of that.
Plus, when you work out and you work out hard with people that do the same thing, you have a mutual respect for each other.
Agreed.
And you look out for each other.
You do.
Agreed.
Right?
I agree.
It's a community. It's a whole thing.
They would never really hang alone. Yeah.
It's a total, I would say, like, I know there's women that go there too, but it's almost, I would say, it is a family, but it's also like a brotherhood in a way too. Even with the women that go there, it's a brotherhood, like it's a camaraderie thing as well. And I found that a lot in wrestling and stuff too, where it's like, you guys are, because it's a lot of like, it sucks sometimes. Like, it's really difficult to work out, and it's mentally and physically taxing, and you do need the support from your teammates, or even just the camaraderie to get through it. And like, you guys are doing this together, and you draw strength from each other a lot of the time. So I think the brotherhood and camaraderie part of it is very important as well. And it's a great thing to find. It's very rare to get that, especially later in life. When you're coming up through school and you're on teams and all that stuff, like that stuff's there and you kind of take it for granted. But once that stuff is gone, when you're later in life, it's very difficult to find and obtain that again. And it's a blessing to even have that. And also to meet guys like, dude, Chad, you're a great dude, man. And it's been a privilege knowing you. You know what I mean? So just getting,
thank you.
Hey, man.
And likewise.
Hey, appreciate you, man. But no, it's, getting those experiences and chances to do that. And it does take courage. Like you said, it's not easy, but also, you know, the Jordan Peterson guy, I think he really puts it the best as far as like where the, you know, teaching someone to be meek and mild and almost like wilted in a way isn't teaching someone to be good. Teaching someone to, you know, defend themselves and be able to fight and all that stuff, and then be able to control it, right? That's how you develop someone to be an actual morally good person, because they do have the capability of creating harm and inflicting pain, and they choose not to, and they choose
not to,
and they choose to do it for the right reasons. I think that is the real benefit that, you know, that we get by doing that, I would say.